working? What's going on? Come on in! Come on in! 안녕하세요 여러분. Today is Sunday live streaming at KSTYLEYO. So we're gonna be learning Korean through Korean article. Come on in everyone. Let's wait a few minutes until people start joining. Thank you so much for joining Sunday live streaming with me. I know we are in a holiday season and we don't feel like studying. We don't feel like working. I just want to sit around the couch and eating something sweet or savory. Just relax, right? You just want to feel like, oh, I want to chill. But the fact that you show up today means something. You want to improve your Korean little bit by bit. Doesn't matter about holiday. You still want to improve your Korean and keeping the momentum, right? So for those of you who are joining the live streaming, I really applaud you. So today, this is an article I found in Naver. You can find the link to get to the Naver news, and I usually go through the news to pick out which is the good one to study together. This is pretty short. I actually have selected 5 sentences to go through today. As you know, article is an amazing way to learn Korean because it gives you the sentence structure. And it's not really poetic, just like K-pop lyrics. Sometimes we have a hard time to understand what it means. But article is the way to improve your vocabulary and also grammar, as well as the sentence structure. Only downside of the article is it's not gonna be natural the way you will speak in speaking format. Just keep that in mind. Let's go to the article section. Just let me know if you can see well. Hello everyone. Hi. Thank you for joining. So you can find the article in the link in the description down below like I mentioned. This is about KakaoMobilty. I found that it was interesting because this is maybe the future. And if you visit South Korea, you need to understand how the transportation works as well. I mean, we have a really one of the best transportation I found. Like compared to any other country in the world, because it's really small country and condensed and have high population, so you have to have a good transportation. You can get around pretty much anywhere on the bus or on subway. I used the subway and bus when I lived in South Korea every single day. Without those transportation, it's really hard to get around. But this is addition to our transportation system. Have you guys heard of KakaoTalk? KakaoTalk is a messaging app. It's like WhatsApp, owned by Facebook. But KakaoTalk is the Korean version, or WeChat as in Chinese version, I guess. But this is mainly used by Korean people, and if you don't have KakaoTalk, people are gonna be shocked. It's like you don't have Instagram, oh my god, type thing. But I think it's the same company that just released KakaoMobilty. So right now it's not completely commercialized yet, but they're doing the test. So this is the article about how they're gonna start testing and actually implementing it in a certain section of the city. So we're gonna get to it. So this is the first sentence that I picked. here. 카카오 모빌리티가 실제 도로에서 자율주행 상용화 서비스를 시작한다. 카카오 모빌리티가 실제 도로에서 자율주행 상용화 서비스를 시작한다. 그래요. So, let's try to ask question and answer in the live chat. So, what is the main verb here? If you look at this sentence, what is the main verb? As you know, subject is orange color, object pink, verb blue, and is miscellaneous work. So I'm gonna underline as we go. And if I ask you questions, what is the main verb? It's very simple. If you look at Korean sentences, verb goes at the end of the sentence. I call it as Yoda speaking. You know Yoda, Star Wars? He speaks like Korean. So, 시작하다. This is the verb. I should change the color. 시작하다. Good. 시작하다. What's that mean? To start. To begin. So, you can look up the word in dictionary as well. 시작하다 means to start. So, who starts what? What's the main subject here? Who starts what? KakaoMobility가, do you see? 가 subject particle. Hi Jess, welcome. KakaoMobility가 start something. This sentence is actually pretty simple because you can see all the distinctive particles. 자율주행 상용화 서비스를, this is the object. KakaoMobilty starts this. And let's look at this word here. 실제. 실제가 뭐죠? Actual. Actual, 도로. 도로 is road. Okay? 에서 on the road. In English, you can see it as on the road, but it could be either at or in, depends on the context. This is specific location particle. I have a video in my channel if you want to check out 에서 or 에 difference. 실 is from 한자. Okay, excellent. You can, if you know 한자, you can type it in the live chat for people who know Chinese characters. That'd be great. 자율주행. 자율 means what? Voluntary. But if you look it up, this is actually all noun. Noun, 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 noun. So one distinctive character about article. They tend to use compound nouns. Noun, 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 noun. To make one giant noun. So this is the case. If you look up 자율, it's gonna come up as self-imposed control. Self-imposed control or voluntary. 주행 means driving. Okay? But 주행 can be driving for anything. Like it could be airplane. Or it doesn't have to be related to only car. If you say drive for car, we say 운전하다. This is a verb, drive. It's related to car. I don't think you say 비행기를 운전하다. It sounds weird. 비행기 is plane. I don't think we use this one. But anyway, 주행 is like driving. Any device. Maybe you could even use this one for drone. drone. Okay? Drone is very popular in South Korea. 상용화, commercialization. Commercialization. And service is the same thing as English word service. So it's all noun here. So KakaoMobilty, the company name or the service name, I guess, starts this voluntary driving commercialization service on the actual road. This means auto driving. I can guess this is auto driving. So I'm a little surprised because Tesla is leading the industry as the self-driving car. But I know that a lot of other countries, they're developing self-driving car as well. Even Uber, you know. But is there any company who has actually implemented in the road? I'm not sure. But they wanna start implementing this service on the actual road. Okay? So let's see how it goes. But 질문 있어요, 여기? 이 문장 질문이 없으면 다음 문장으로 넘어갈게요. 그 다음은 바로 여기 있습니다. 플랫폼 기반의 자유주행 서비스를 상용화하는 것은 국내 최초다. 다시 읽을게요. 플랫폼 기반의 자유주행 서비스를 상용화하는 것은 국내 최초다. This sentence is actually very similar to the first one. You already know a lot of words that you just learned from the first one. But I thought that the sentence structure is very interesting. 플랫폼 기반의 자유주행 서비스를 상용화하는 것은 I paused here. 국내 최초다. 그럼 여기 동사가 뭐예요? 동사, main verb. 동사가 뭐죠? 동사는 at the end of the sentence. 봐. This is what? Be verb. After object noun ending with a vowel. 맞죠? When it's be verb, you know this is object. Right? In Korean, be verb is used with object noun. Like Rachel said, if it's 이다, this is after an object noun that ends with a consonant. Okay? Then you use 이다. So 다 by itself, it's not obvious. But if you know this word, it's a noun, then it must be verb, right? Okay, so we got the object and be verb out of the way. How about 주어, subject, noun? What's the subject noun here? If you have a hard time, try to look at any particles. Do you see any particles here? 자유주행 서비스를 상용화하는 I see potential particle for subject, and I also see another subject particle. But which one is it? Subject particle is used after what? Noun. Okay? But this is not a noun. 상용화하다 verb. So this is actually verb adjective. Okay? So this is the subject noun. This. It may contain more than just that, but basically this is the subject particle. 이해해요? 그러면 처음부터 봐요. platform, same. Korean people use a lot of English words. It's almost like it's prestigious. Prestigious, is that a word? You look more educated when you speak English words. It's becoming more so that if you look at articles, they're gonna use a lot of English words as well. Back in the day, it was not like that. Platform, 기반에. 기반, base. Foundation. 의. You don't pronounce it as 의. You say 에. Platform 기반에. This is what? Possessive, apostrophe S. Platform basis. 자율주행 서비스를. Oh, okay. So we already talked about all this one. Voluntary driving service. 를, object particle. So why do we have this object particle here? This object is related to this verb. Commercialize this service. Right? 상용화하다, this is to commercialize. To commercialize this object. Okay? So this is the object for this verb. But this verb became an adjective to describe cut. So this is one way to make a verb into a noun. Get it? Oh, hi Linda, thank you so much. Thanks for being so awesome and teaching us the beautiful Korean language. Don't ever stop. Oh, don't ever stop learning. I won't stop. Thank you, Linda. So this is one way to make a verb into a noun. Okay, so verb adjective plus cut becomes noun. Okay, so you're gonna say in English, commercializing the service is what? 국내 최초. 국내 means what? Domestic. Actually, domestic as a noun. Do you have a word for domestic as a noun? 국내, domestic. Or you may think of it as domestically. 최초다, very first time. 이해해요? This is, the entire thing is actually the subject. This portion is all subject, part of subject. Commercializing, platform basis, voluntary driving service is domestically the very first time. So even though it's such a short sentence, and we felt like, oh, we got that object and verb out of the way, but this becomes like the whole bunch of subject, part of the subject now, right? So I thought this sentence structure was very interesting. 질문 있어요? 그러면 3번으로 넘어갈게요. 끝. 다음은 뭐죠? 예약할 수 있다. 아, 여기 있습니다. 이거 보이죠? 승객은 카카오 T 플랫폼을 통해 자율주행 차량을 호출하거나 예약할 수 있다. 다시요. 승객은 카카오 T 플랫폼을 통해 자율주행 차량을 호출하거나 예약할 수 있다. 천천히 읽을게요. 승객은 카카오 T 플랫폼을 통해 자율주행 차량을 호출하거나 예약할 수 있다. 네. So, in this sentence, you're gonna learn some conjunction too. Verb conjunction. So, let's look at the main verb. 주요 동사가 뭐죠? 대답해주세요. In the live chat. 주요 동사. Main verb goes at the end of the sentence. What do you think? So you may say, sometimes you may say, oh, very easy, it's 있다, right? In this sentence, not so easy. Based on what I've told you, yeah, it should be 있다 is the main verb. However, if you understand grammar, this is one of the grammar that you should be familiar with if you have not yet. Technically, I could break it down. I have a video about how to break it down, but I'm not gonna do it now. But basically, if you see verb root plus 을 수 있다. This means what? Can do the verb. If the verb root ends with a vowel, you use R, otherwise 을. Here, main verb is what? 예약하다. That's right. So, 예약하다 is the verb. Reserve. To reserve. Can reserve. So, who can reserve what? Who. So, who means the subject noun. Who can do that? I see 은. Do you see any other subject particle here? 자율주행 차량을 호출하거나. Very easy. You only see one subject particle. 승객은. This is passenger. Passenger can reserve. What? Reserve what? So now we need to look at object particle. Let's look for object particle. 카카오 T 플랫폼을 possibly this 을 통해 자율주행 차량을 another object. So now we need to battle. Which one is it? Which one do you think it is? 맞춰보세요. Take a guess. 맞춰보세요. Sometimes I wonder, when I watch, let's say, English channel that teaches English, they only speak English. So does it make sense sometimes if I just use only Korean in the entire life? I don't know how it's gonna work. 잘 모르겠어요. So we need to battle which one is it. But again, if you understand the meaning in this context, then you can understand which one might be. Passenger can reserve Kakao T platform, or passenger can reserve voluntary driving vehicle. So this noun is voluntary driving, we already talked about. This is vehicle. Okay? So which one do you think it is? Can passenger reserve the platform or reserve the vehicle? I think this is the one. 동의해요? 그러면 이걸로 일단 가죠. 그리고 을 통해 This one is another grammar you should be familiar with if you have not. Actually, this is more common in articles. 통해, noun, 을, 통해. This is via or through, noun. So, if you understand this grammar, you'll be thinking, oh, this is not the main object noun here, right? So, through KakaoT platform, yeah, you reserve the vehicle through that platform, right? Now it seems very simple. But what's the remaining part? 호출하거나. 호출하거나가 무슨 뜻이에요? This is actually 호출하거나. This is or. Verb root 거나 becomes or. So 호출하다, this is another verb technically. This is what? Call. But this is not about 전화하다. 전화하다 is you're calling somebody. But this is 호출하다. It's not about calling on the phone. It's like you're calling the vehicle. How would you say that in English? You're calling the vehicle to come. Anyway, maybe there is another word in English to distinguish. But anyway, this is calling the vehicle versus phoning somebody. Phoning somebody is 전화하다. I just read it down for you. 전화하다. It's different. To phone. Okay? Back in the day, do you guys know about beep? The device beep? 호출기. Back in the day, we had 호출기 before having phones. I used to use 호출기 in middle school. We also call it as beepy. Maybe because it comes from the English word beep. So beep beep becomes beepy. 호출기 is you get some, some notification that, oh, someone's calling you. And you actually have to go to phone booth to check, oh, who's calling me and who left voicemail, right? No phone back then, so you have to go to, public booth. Yeah, that's right, beeper, I guess that's how you say. I've used it. Maybe Rachel has used it. She understands what I'm saying. So this is also the same noun. 호출기. 기 has the meaning of device. So passenger can call voluntary driving vehicle or reserve the same object noun through KakaoT platform. So in this sentence structure, you see two verbs here, divided by this conjunction or, for the same subject and same object. 이해하죠? 그러면 다음 문장으로 갈게요. 다음 문장은 진짜 쉬워요, 사실. Order a car. Hail a car. Hail, I never heard it, but order, okay. In South Korea, we have a lot of transportation system, like we have 대리 or this, or so many other transportation type that people get vehicle for getting to one place to the other. That's why Uber was not successful. Uber is successful in almost any other country in the world. But in South Korea, they didn't work out because we already had a lot of systems. So, okay. 4번은 진짜 쉬워요. 4번 바로 여기 있습니다. 다음 문장이에요. 요금 결제도 카카오티에서 이루어진다. How's 통해 different from 으로? Where was it? 으로 is towards. So you're asking about this. 통하다. Okay. 통하다 is actually a verb. Right here. Okay. 통하다. 통하다. It's actually a verb to be connected. That's one of the meanings. Let me look it up here. 통하다. To go through. To flow through. Circulate. Ventilate. Or the one that I just told you, to be connected. Meaning, this is an expression. 마음이 통하다. 마음이. Mind is connected. What's the mean? Meaning, understand each other. We are on the same page. 마음이 통해. Or 말이 통하다. 말 is what? Word. Word is connected. 말이 통해. Meaning, we get what we're saying. 너랑 나랑 말이 통해. Our words are connected. Meaning, you understand what I mean. Okay? So, 통하다 is actually a verb. It made it into a 통해, and it's like a grammar. Noun, 을을 통해. But like you said, 으로. That's more like towards. Towards. I have a video about towards, I think. So you can check it out. 으로, this is, I think it could be either 로 or 으로. This is towards. So towards a direction. It's not through, right? It's not the same thing even in English. Towards is not the same as through or via. 이해하시죠? 그러면 so you're asking about 으로 then. I have a video about it, Rachel. 으로 has many different meanings. 으로 can be towards. If you're looking for location, this is towards. Or as. Or by. Or with. Depends on the context, you could use either of these English words. Like the one that you just mentioned, 펜으로 쓰다, right? I write with a pen. 젓가락으로 밥 먹다. I eat with chopstick. 차로 가다. I go buy a car. Right? 저는 지금 선생님으로 한국어를 가르쳐요. I teach Korean as a teacher. 저는 한국 식당으로 갈 거예요. I will go towards Korean restaurant. So really depends on the context. So I think I have a video about that, so you can check it out. But I think I explained pretty well here. Okay. So 요금 결제도 카카오티에서 이루어진다. So 주요 동사가 뭐죠? Here? 주요 동사. 이건 진짜 쉬운 거니까 답하실 수 있어야 돼요. 주요 동사 여기 있죠? 이루어지다. Okay? 이루어, that becomes one syllable, 이루어. But if you look it up, you may see it as 이루어지다. When you see 지다 as part of verb, it means become something or to be something. So this is passively done. So become accomplished. So if you say 이루다, this is not passive, this is active. Accomplish. Okay? 이루어진다. Since this is a passive verb, do you see an object? Can you use an object with a passive verb? Pop quiz. But it's very obvious answer the way I ask you, because the answer is no, right? The answer is no. So you gotta find subject only. 요금 결제도. In this case, you didn't see either 있는 subject particle. You don't always need to include them. Especially when you see 도, you don't have to. 도 is also. Okay? This is a noun. 요금, fare. 결제, 결제가 뭐죠? Payment. 그러니까 payment transaction. Okay? Fair payment also becomes accomplished. That by itself is already a complete sentence. But you can see KakaoT에서. This is location particle on KakaoT. I guess this is an app. Actually, I use KakaoTalk, but I don't know KakaoT. Maybe this is one of the apps they have. So fair payment becomes accomplished on KakaoT. 진짜 쉽죠, 이거는? 이해해요? 그러면 바로 5번으로 갈게요. 이게 마지막 문장입니다. 마지막 문장이에요. 그런데 가장 어려운 문장입니다. Stay focused. This can be a bit challenging. So far we had a pretty easy sentence, but this is a little challenging. 여기요. 문장이 이거예요. 다. 단, 초기 서비스는 세종시가 선발한 얼리 라이더를 대상으로 정부 세종청사 인근 약 4km 구간 3개 승하차 지점에서만 이루어진다. Actually, the font is kind of small for me too, because I minimized the window. So I'm gonna read it here. 단 초기 서비스는 세종시가 선발한 얼리 라이더를 대상으로 정부 세종청사 인근 약 4km 구간 3개 승하차 지점에서만 이루어진다. 단 초기 서비스는 세종시가 선발한 얼리 라이더를 대상으로 정부 세종청사 인근 약 4km 구간 3개 승하차 지점에서만 이루어진다. This is tongue twisting word too. So I'm gonna pause at certain spot. 단, 초기 서비스는 I kind of pause here. 세종시가 선발한 얼리 라이더를 대상으로 pause here. 정부 세종청사 인근 약 4km 구간 3개 승하차 지점에서만 이뤄진다. 정말 길어요, 이게. 그러면 이제 pop quiz. What's the main verb here? Can we do this long sentence without getting confused? To find main verb. We're not confused. Because main verb is always at the end of the sentence. 이루어진다. The same verb that we just studied. 이루어지다. Right? To become accomplished. 이루어지다. But what is accomplished? We talked about how we don't need an object noun when it's passive verb. So, what are all these? Like, so many of them. You find 을, which is object particle here. Do you see any other object? So maybe this is an object for something else, right? But we know for sure this is not gonna need an object noun. Okay, so what is the subject noun? 크리스 감사합니다. Thank you so much. Let's look at subject particle. 는. I see 가 here. Oh, do you see anything else? 단, 초기 서비스는 So, early service is accomplished. Or, 세종시, this is a city. 세종 city, this is a name, is accomplished. Which one sounds better? And let's say these are all subject nouns. But which one is the one that's related to this verb? So let's get through. 단, starting with 단. 단 has meaning of but. You may wonder, how about 그런데? 그런데, 그러나, 하지만. I actually have video about that too. 하지만. Or but. Before the sentence. But 단 has implication as in 단. Everything else is good. You can accomplish this and that, but almost except for this. This service is gonna be commercialized. However, it has the meaning like that. But 초기 서비스는 early service. 세종시리 what? 선발한. This is what? Verb adjective. 선발하다 is the verb. 찾아보세요. 동사를 찾아보세요. Try to look it up. 선발하다. This is to pick out or select. Early rider. I told you about how Korean people love using English words. Here. This is one example. Early rider. Early rider is English word actually. This is the object, right? So I'm guessing this may be the adjective clause. Early rider that the city has selected. Early rider that city has selected. 를 대상으로. 대상 has the meaning of target. But when you see 를 대상으로, 을 대상으로, then you can think of it as targeting a noun. Targeting early riders. Okay? So targeting early rider that the city has selected. 정부 세종청사. 정부 means what? Government. 세종 is a name. 청사 is government building. So it means just government buildings. 인근. This is nearby. Nearby. 약. 약. Approximately. Approximately. About. Or you can say about. About 4 kilometers. I use Chinese number system when I read this, right? 4 kilometer. Kilometer. If I just spell it out, kilometer, we write like that. 4 kilometer. We don't use miles in Korea. We use kilometers. 구간, section. It's all confusing. What is going on here? 세계. Which number system did I just use? 세계. Korean number system. Do you guys know about Chinese number system and Korean number system? I have a video about that in the Korean basic playlist. You can check it out there if you're confused. But I should make more videos about counting unit, by the way. Okay, this is counting unit for general object. 세 개. 3 things. Or 3 what? 승하차 지점에서만. 승하차. This is actually related to Chinese symbols. 승 means get on, 하 means get off, 차 is vehicle. So if you actually look up this word in neighbor, it comes up as getting in and out of a vehicle. Getting in and out of a vehicle. 승하차. 지점. Point. Oh man, what's going on here? 에서만. You know, 에서, location, particle, specific, only. We're gonna unpack everything here. Okay? So, this early service is accomplished only at this location. What location? Getting in and out of a car point. 승하차 지점. Only the area that you can get in and out of a car. We have designated spot for taxis or bus, things like that. Only those. But only 3 of them. Not all of them, just 3 selected ones. But these 3 spots are where? About 4 kilometers nearby this government building. I don't know why they had to be so specific, but they wanted to let you know where it is. Yeah, it's about, nearby, in the proximity, 4 kilometers around the government buildings. Targeting early riders that city has selected. So basically this sentence is saying, but early service is accomplished only at this spot, targeting early riders. Early riders as in somebody who will ride early, as a test, maybe guinea pig, right? City has selected. I don't know why they use early rider as if it's like the in the article you have a single quotation here. I didn't capture that in my note, But single quotation, maybe it's some kind of selected people. I'm not sure. Early writers, the city has selected. So this sentence was the most complicated one, but we only have one main subject and one main verb. That's it. The rest is the descriptive words. Where it's getting accomplished, targeting who, right? So if you want to study on your own, I already put a link in the description box. You can just go through the article and reread. The article is actually very short. The 5 sentences I've selected is almost the entire article. So, but there are a couple of other sentences that I didn't go through. You can just read through if you want. But also, Naver News has a ton of articles. So if you want to just study on your own, you can just go through the articles. And if you want me to do more of this type of videos, studying articles, let me know what kind of topic you would like to see. Because sometimes when I read news, this may be interesting to me, but it may not be interesting to a lot of people. Right? So just let me know what kind of topic that you want me to touch on so that we can all enjoy learning from news. But I found that anything is good because we are here to practice reading and practice breaking down sentences, right? So hopefully this video was useful to you. As you know, I'm kind of wearing red color for the holiday season. So we have a Christmas coming. Those of you who are celebrating Christmas, have a good Christmas, Merry Christmas. We say Merry Christmas in Korean. Or how do we say that? 성탄절 잘 보내세요. 성탄절. Christmas. 잘 보내세요. You could reuse this phrase for anything. 추석, Thanksgiving, or 설날, New Year's. Right? 설날 잘 보내세요. 성탄절 잘 보내세요. 추석 잘 보내세요. Right? You can reuse this one. But 성탄절 is Christmas. Or you say Merry Christmas. Sounds mouthful. Anyway, enjoy the time with your family if you can. And I see you guys next weekend. We will have a live streaming next weekend. So, see you at 12 p.m. Eastern Time on Saturday. Then, enjoy the rest of the day. 감사합니다.